All right, guys, in this video, I'm going to be talking about why a simple YouTube setup is better than a fancy setup. Now, you might be wondering, Shane, look at your freaking computer. Like, look at this. You've got a studio. You've got like blue lights back here, red lights back here. You have a nice light up here. You've got fancy cameras. Why are you telling me that a simple setup is better than a fancy setup? You're a hypocrite. Why are you telling me that? Are you trying to stop people from competing with you? Is that what it is, Shane? Right? Is that what it is? You're telling people to use simple setups so they don't get as many views? All valid thoughts and concerns, but I'm going to tell you why a simple setup is better than a fancy setup, and I'm going to use a bunch of examples here. So this is a question that I get from clients all the time, by the way, because I help people grow and make money on YouTube, and I help people really automate their YouTube content creation so they're not spending very much time, effort, or money when it comes to YouTube content, and they're just doing it a lot more efficiently. A lot of the people I work with are like CEOs, coaches, consultants, online service providers, or YouTubers that just want to level up and be able to put out more content without spending nearly as much time. Okay? So I know all about this. And one of the biggest things is the tech trap. Thinking that you need better tech, right? I get these questions all the time. I just did a live stream today and I probably got like 10 different versions of this question. Oh, if I have, and really where this question comes from is insecurity. And it also comes from your ego as well, believe it or not. Because what happens is you'll upload some videos on YouTube and then they won't do well. And immediately you don't want to blame yourself for like the value of the content in the video, or how good the video idea was, or anything like that, or maybe your presentation, how good your presentation was. You want to blame the tech. You want to externalize the problem and blame the tech. Like, hey, if only I had Casey Neistat's Canon camera, the video would have done well. If only I had Shane Hummus's Shure SM7DB mic, the video would have done well. If only I had Peter McKinnon's 24 millimeter lens, the video would have done well, right? You want to blame other people for why the video didn't do well, or you want to externalize it. And I'm not coming at you here. This is something that happens to everybody. This happened to me early on in my career, okay? And the truth is, the quality of the video has very, very little to do with the success of the channel. Of course, I have a quality setup now because I've been making YouTube videos for years, and it's just like you get bored using the same setup. So you have to, you want to level up and like make a beautiful studio. But it actually has very, very little to do. Maybe it makes like a 1% difference. Here's why a simple setup is so much better in every way. And honestly, if I lost this studio tomorrow, I wouldn't be mad about it, right? And I do travel a lot, and I do record with simple setups. I'm going to tell you a story. I moved to a new apartment a few months back. And we were setting this studio up, but we're also setting a mobile studio up so that I could record around my apartment. And I might show some pictures and some videos of us doing that. But we set up a super fancy setup, this mobile desk studio where we could put it outside, because I wanted to record like the beautiful ocean. I've got this beautiful apartment that I was able to secure, and I wanted to be able to show the beautiful ocean view behind me. And so we set up this fancy studio. We had this, Sony cameras. We had the G Master lenses. We had amazing lighting. And we put it outside. And it didn't work that well. Like, my face was too dark because the sun was coming in directly behind me. And so my face was too dark. So I was really dark. And then the background was light. So it was bad, right? And then we went and we got a $1,000 light. We took it from this studio and just brought it over there. And then we rented a $4,000 light. So now I was getting absolutely blasted with lights from both sides. $1,000 light and a $4,000 light. I couldn't even see anything. Like, I was looking at the camera, I could barely even see it. I was squinting when I was recording, okay? And the picture was better, but it still wasn't quite that good. And we had to mess around with it for the longest time to figure it out. And guess what? By the time we got it figured out, the camera was overheating because it was outside and it's hot where I live. The camera was overheating. And then you know what we did? The $4,000 light we rented, that we returned that, took, the mobile studio, we put it back in the house, and we pulled out an iPhone the next day. We positioned the iPhone to where, part of my face was in the light and part of it was in the dark. And the iPhone came out with a better shot than my super fancy setup where I had somebody who graduated. By the way, I didn't even mention this. One of my team members graduated from a school in LA with a film degree. He knows everything about lighting. He's amazing. Another one of my team members that was there is like a tech genius. He knows everything about tech when it comes to camera. He's amazing. And then we rented this light from this guy, this $4,000 light, super bright light. And he knows everything about lighting too. So we had all three of these and I know a lot about YouTube myself. So we had 4 people that know a lot about doing this. And it still took us a long time to get it set up. And every single day, it would have taken us probably an hour or 2 just to get the studio set up if we wanted to record out on the terrace, right? We took out a freaking iPhone, started recording. The picture was better. The picture was better with a freaking iPhone than our super fancy setup. And that reminded me of what I've been telling people for years. Just keep a simple setup, guys. There have been channels that have gotten to 5, 10 million subscribers with just an iPhone. Look up Mr. Ballin, okay? He's a great storyteller. I love his videos. He got to 5 million subscribers with just an iPhone, okay? Just a freaking iPhone. So this is one of the reasons why a simple set is better than a complicated set. A simple setup for video recording. When you keep things simple, there's less things that can go wrong. And yes, if we really optimize that outside set, it would have been maybe 5 or 10% better than the iPhone, right? The water would have been a little bit more beautiful and blah, blah, blah. But the iPhone was good enough. And let me tell you something right now. An 8 out of 10 set that's simple, dependable, and doesn't mess up is better than a 10 out of 10 set that is super complicated. Because whenever you have a 10 out of 10 set, here's what happens. And this has happened to my client, right? This is actually, let me tell you the story of my client. I had this client that had a great set going. Simple set, using an iPhone. iPhone 15 and above is amazing. And he had good audio. But for some reason, he got the tech bug. What's in my bag, guys? What's in my bag? He started watching all these tech videos. And he thought, because this is what all the other YouTube gurus tell you. Oh, you need this tech. You need that tech. So he started watching all these tech videos. And he's like, oh, you know what? I think I'm going to get a DSLR mirrorless camera with a better lens. I'm like, okay, cool. But then he got the DSLR camera, and all of a sudden the lighting wasn't right. And he spent a ton of time working on the lighting. He was installing ND filters. He was getting then he had to order an expensive light, right? Expensive softbox light to get the lighting right. And then once he got all the lighting right, he noticed that his fancy camera, when he plugged it directly into his computer, which by the way, you can do the same thing with an iPhone, so that, the video file would actually just go directly into his computer, which saves some time. And also you're able to view yourself on your computer to make sure that you look right. Like right over here, I can see myself on my computer to make sure that, my hair's not crazy or, there's not some kind of issue, or I can just record a quick test video to make sure the audio is good and all that kind of thing. He noticed that there was some playback issues. Whenever he'd move his head, it was dropping frames. That never happens with an iPhone, guys. Never happens. And so he invested in all this other equipment. And then also, because of the fact that he had all this fancy interface, he had to do some extra stuff with his audio. Whereas before, his audio was simple and it was good. It was fine. The audio was great. But now his audio was starting to mess up because his computer was starting to overload, right? Now his computer couldn't handle the live stream from the camera going straight in. It was starting to overload. And because of it was overloading, now the audio was messing up a little bit. And it was just problem after problem after problem. And guess what? He wasn't making videos. And what actually matters is that you're making videos. And so simple setups are better because you're going to end up wasting hundreds of hours trying to get your setup to work if you do it on your own, or you're going to have to hire super expensive consultants and tech people to come in and get your setup set up for you. And during those hundreds of hours, if you just had a simple setup, you could have just been making content that entire time. And you probably would have had a couple videos that popped off. So it's not about the tech, guys. It's not about the audio. It's not about the tech. It's not once you reach an 8 out of 10, you're good. Don't ever worry about the tech again. Once you get to 8 out of 10, in terms of the video quality, never worry about the tech again. If you want to do it just for fun, to learn how to use a camera or something like that, hey, go ahead and do it. But don't think that that's an effective strategy. Simple is going to beat complicated every single time. Oh, and guess what? With the same client, they finally got it figured out, and then a few months later, they started having problems again. If it was an iPhone, that never would have happened. And yeah, the picture was slightly better, like tiny little bit better than an iPhone. I mean, I think I have an example. Like, here's what this set looks like with my fancy camera, and here's what the same set looks like when I put the iPhone in front of the camera. It's not that different. It looks great with the iPhone, okay? So don't try to copy me. I've been doing YouTube for so long, guys. It's just, you just get bored and you buy tech and you're just like, oh, this is going to be cool. You don't have to do that. You really don't have to do that at all. Simple is by far the best for 99.9% of people, especially when they first start on YouTube. So don't fall into this tech trap. You know, all these big YouTube gurus, they make a ton of money from affiliate links when you buy this camera or that tech or this audio or that light or blah, 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 blah. They make a ton of money whenever you buy that stuff. Don't fall for that, okay? Simple setup, an iPhone, maybe a nice mic, GoPro, wireless mic is good. Maybe have one backup mic just in case. And that's about it. That's all you really need. Don't overcomplicate it, guys. The most important thing is that you're consistently recording and uploading videos. And that's all you need is a simple setup to do that. iPhone is amazing. Use your iPhone. Samsung's great too. What's the other one? Google Pixel. Google Pixel is great too. But iPhone, if you're wondering what to get, iPhone 15 and above, it's like pretty cheap now because it's a few years old. iPhone 15 and above is awesome. Okay? So keep your set simple. This is going to allow you to avoid all of the problems that come when you try to complicate things. You know, there's this old saying, keep it simple, stupid, and it applies to so many different industries, so many different business models, so many different situations in the world. Just keep it simple. Don't try to complicate things, because if you want to have a super fancy setup, well, guess what? You're going to have to hire a tech person to come over every single time it messes up. And it's going to mess up a lot. Probably 1 out of every 10 videos, something's going to mess up if you have a fancy setup. And then you're going to have to hire a full-time IT person, and you sit down to record your video, and you can't record your video. You have to have the IT guy come over, and then you just wasted that entire night when you were going to record some videos. You were going to do a batch recording session. And then you have to wait until the next day or the day after that. Maybe your IT person isn't available the next day. So you got to wait until the day after that. Imagine all the inefficiency and all the time that you waste because of the fact that you didn't have a simple setup. Now, I did a lot of traveling last year, and I'm going to do a lot of traveling this year. And when I do my travels, I'm going to have a very simple setup. It's going to be 2 iPhones. One iPhone is going to go right in front of me. The other iPhone is going to go off to the side, just like this. So I'm going to have a very similar look to what you see on this setup. But it's just going to be super easy, super simple to set up. I'm going to have one mic, probably the GoPro wireless mic, and then a backup mic. I'm not exactly sure what that'll be, but it'll be similar. Then I'll probably hold the mic just like right here. Maybe we'll do something fancy. Maybe I'll have like a Shure mic that I bring with me. We'll see. But it's going to be a super simple setup, and I'm probably going to enjoy the hell out of it because of how unbelievably simple it is. And it's not going to mess up because it's freaking iPhone. iPhones don't mess up. iPhones always record correctly. Have you ever seen your iPhone or your phone mess up on a recording? Probably not, right? And that's going to be 95% as good as this setup. And for practical purposes, it's exactly the same. It's 100% as good, right? I might see like a 1% dip on those types of videos. In fact, probably less than that, because in many cases, kind of raw, authentic content where you record it from your iPhone, it's a little more relatable. It's a little more likable. Whereas if you have a super professional setup, it's a little less relatable to a lot of people, right? So simple setups, guys. Unless you're in a niche where, like, let's say you're in the film niche, then it makes sense to have like a fancy setup because you're communicating with people that take that stuff very seriously, right? You know, and I'm in the YouTube niche, so it kind of makes sense for me to have a fancy setup just simply because people, like if you're in the YouTube niche, people expect you to have pretty good quality, right? But for just about any other niche out there, it doesn't freaking matter. It makes almost no difference. And in fact, it holds you back because it's another excuse to not make content, which is the thing that's actually going to get you the results, okay? So have a simple setup. Probably you're watching this right now within arm's reach. You have something that you could create a simple setup with. If not, I have a guide. I'm going to put my guide down below. to create a very simple studio. The tech that I recommend, all the tech that I recommend, I'm going to put that in the description in the pinned comment below, so check it out. And if you're a business owner, if you're busy, right? A business owner or a YouTuber who's trying to, take YouTube seriously and make some serious money from YouTube and also make more content while spending way less time. I only have to spend 1 hour a week on my main channel to maintain it, for instance, the channel with over 1 million subscribers that makes me multiple 6 figures a month. If you're in that situation, sign up for a call, right? If you want to get to that level, sign up for a call. We can help you do it. We can help you design a system where you can consistently and easily record content in as little as 1 hour a week. Record a full-time amount of content for your entire channel. Right now, I'm like 4 months ahead on my first channel, 4 or 5 months ahead, right? That's how easy it is for me to create content. I'm gonna be able to travel. I don't have a care in the world. If I wanted to, I could make the entire year's worth of content in a couple weeks, easily, right? Maybe even a week. Okay, and if you want to learn how to do that for yourself to where you're making content super efficiently, you're not spending very much time, because I know that's one of the biggest problems people have is making content for them because they're using the wrong system and they have the wrong setup. It takes them way too much time. Then book a call go to us down in the description below. We'll figure out where you are right now, figure out what your goal is. We'll make a plan to get you from where you are right now to your goal. And then we'll see if we're a good fit to work together. It's a kind of a hybrid of a done for you and a done with you program. We can jump on, help you set up your simple setup and just get you going so that you're consistently making good content and you're making content that actually makes money and you're doing it consistently, okay, without spending that much time. So check that out. Book a call down in the description and pinned comment below. And also check out a video I did from one of my clients who travels full time. He does not have a setup, and he was able to scale. When he first started working with us, he was making 10 to 30K per month. He couldn't escape the 10 to 30K per month. He scaled all the way up to making over 500K per month within 9 months of working with us. That's Sean. Check out that video by clicking right here.